Yeah, so I'm gonna do my little spiel.
Yeah,
Can you
go ahead.
come in a little closer?
Yeah.
Like, how are we centered? This is good?
Yeah? Okay.
All right. Hello there. Welcome to the Mount Vernon Independent Film Festival. My name is Kouamy Davis Brown, and I am here with.
Anthony Limongi-Preciado.
Okay. What up, Anthony? How are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. Welcome.
Thank you.
Please tell the lovely people on the other side of this lovely lens what it is that you do and how you have come to support the film festival.
Yeah, so I came here today. I was moderating a panel from Pitch Perfectly about pitching. So I am the moderator for today's panel, and I'm also the consultant producer at Greenhouse. And Greenhouse is an education wing of a company I work for called Kouamy, and we teach people how to pitch, how to package, and how to budget their films.
Nice. So I was joking around with Gotham, but it's not really a joke, but I was saying that he was like the guardian angel. So he must be like the right wing, and you're like the left wing.
Sure, yeah.
So, we need both wings to stay balanced
That
and
is
stay
true.
afloat.
That is true. That's the way of putting it, yeah.
Yeah, no, but of course, like I think that what you both teach is very rudimentary in when it comes to creating films that have longevity and that consistently keep creating, like help creators keep creating.
Yeah.
So I'm just curious, what got you into this?
Man, what got me into this is, specifically just my journey in the film industry, period. 2006, it will be 20 years for me in the film industry.
Okay.
So I've been doing it for a while. It's been ups and downs. It's been a roller coaster, very much Six Flags, Nitro type of career. But in those 20 years, I learned that there's a big gap between film school and the film industry. So I went to film school as well. We learned how to, shoot a camera, how to edit, but not a lot about how to budget a film, how to do logistics, how to do a shooting plan, legal. There's a lot of stuff that is missing from that film education. So what Gotham and I aim to do is to kind of bridge that gap between film school and the film business.
Which is beautiful because I know, me personally, myself, I have a production company. It's called Enough Media Productions.
Let's go.
Where we believe everyone's enough to do whatever you dreamed of doing. You're even enough to fail if you choose to do so.
I love that, yeah.
But also, we say that we are our own greatest stories. But in doing so, I've learned that when I try to budget for a film, I've always got to a business mindset of being like, okay, well, I'm gonna just make my film production company make some commercials for some people, or help other people make their projects, but not help myself make said projects. Yeah. So I think that what you say is very smart because it keeps the artist in the artist seat.
Yeah, of course. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And there's some artists that I've talked to filmmakers and they don't want to deal with that kind of stuff. It's not sexy. So we'll do the unsexy stuff. We'll make the unsexy stuff sexy. That's what we're trying to do. But a lot of times, this filmmakers just don't know some of that stuff, and it's good to have that knowledge. When I worked at a film festival, that's the first time I learned about distribution. I didn't even know what that was. I just thought you edit it and then it just goes somewhere. And I'm like, oh no, it actually has to live either through the film or through a film festival circuit. You have to know about distribution windows. There's so much knowledge that filmmakers aren't taught.
Yes.
So again, that's the aim, to teach those filmmakers.
Yes. The only information I had was because I was a server at AFM.
Okay.
American Film
Market. Yeah.
So that's the only thing that I know as far as distribution and things of that nature. And I learned as much as I could, but I was only there for 2 days during the whole conference. But yeah, I'm curious on what are the main things for our future filmmakers out there? What would you say is the main thing when it comes to logistics that future filmmakers could keep an eye on? That's not really too hard, but at the same time important.
I'll break it down like this and try to break it down as gradually as I can. Making a film is equivalent to planning a party. Have you planned a birthday party or an event for somebody?
I was gonna say birthing a child, but I want to hear your analogy.
That's a great one.
I want your analogy.
All right, so think about it. If you're planning a birthday party, you're like, okay, who's gonna come? What's the location? What's the weather? How much time do I have? How much is this gonna cost? Is everybody gonna be happy? Are we gonna be able to finish on time? And if I market it or if I tell people about it, what's the reach? What does that look like? Do I want it to be a big thing or do I want it to be more intimate? There's a lot of questions that you have to answer. There's a lot of people and a lot of factors you got to take into consideration. And you got to take a lot of people and put them into one similar space. That to me is essentially planning a film. They're very, very similar.
Yes.
If you look at it from the production side, if you look at it on the business side, a film is like a stock. I'm going to put X amount of money into it, and let me see if that stock goes up or if it goes down. I don't know. And as an artist, as much as, I love just being the artist and I just want to focus on my art, but in 2026, that's not the case anymore. You can't just be just the artist, right? People are expecting filmmakers to be more than that. So you got to think about, if you're a filmmaker, think of like a party planner. Think like you're a business person putting stocks into a stock, right? You got to also respect the investor. If somebody's going to give me like $25,000 to make something, I got to make sure that they're going to get that money back. 'Cause it's not my money, it's their money. And I got to respect that too. And I got to respect the audience. They're going to take 2 or 3 hours out of their day to go and watch my movie. I got to respect them too. So as a filmmaker, there's a lot of factors you have to think about in terms of your film. So I guess that my advice is, as a filmmaker, think about those aspects that are outside of production.
No, that's very key. That's very key. And like you said before, like it's hard, especially as artists, like they tend to have a more like, I guess what is it, an A type of brain, or is it B type of brain?
B.
B.
I think
Yes.
it's B, yeah.
Have more of a B type of brain rather than an A type of brain. But
Right.
it's always important, especially you kind of dived into it. But I believe community is important. And
Yeah.
I consider cast and crew as a community.
Absolutely.
No matter how big, no matter how small, or how long
Yeah.
you stay together. But it's like, it's a culture,
Right.
It's like a thing that we all create together. So I'm curious, like whenever you do your projects, or whether you're involved heavily in the editing side, I'm giving a little background.
Right,
That's
right.
on editing too, but, or as a facilitator in what you said, like
With logistics, right?
Yeah, logistics and whatnot. What is it that you look for in said community or in culture when you cultivate or create?
I'll tell you the one thing I look for. This is a really good question. It's a really good question. Coachability.
Coachability, yes.
Am I able to coach you? Are you good on set? Do you have a good personality? Are you able to be a good people person? Do not flip out under pressure. Because me personally, and I think I had some disagreements with some filmmakers about this exact thing. I would rather get somebody that's not as good as lighting than somebody who's an a-hole, who's an excellent lighting person.
Yes.
Because now if you have a bad personality, you're threatening things on set.
Yes.
You're kind of slowing things down. You're kind of a threat to the production.
Yeah.
And I would rather deal with somebody that's learning and able to take that information in than somebody who's experienced and just doesn't have a good attitude.
I get
So
that.
coachability to me is the number one thing, and personality is number two.
Okay. No, that's really interesting. Now, and that brings up another thought that I had. Like, when I see stuff like that, like it makes sense why individuals will work with the same individuals over and over again.
Right.
Because if it ain't broke, then don't
Fix it. Yeah.
But then that also brings in the question, like, how do new individuals get involved in said projects that are maybe a fit, but still they have their said quote unquote community?
Yeah.
Like what would you say in order to like dive into said communities?
Okay, that was a really good question. If you're new, just as fresh, starting out, maybe at a film school, or just interested in film,
or new to town,
right? Events is one. Go to something like the Mount Vernon Independent Film Festival. It's a great way to meet people, a great way to network, and you got to be in community with people that are like-minded. So at a film festival, you're gonna find people that are looking for people for the next film, looking for crew. Jump into that. Be a PA. And also figure out, not just for the experience, because that's important too, and to meet people, but also knowing what you like as a filmmaker too. Because film is a buffet.
Yes.
Film is a buffet. Have a little pizza, have a little burger, have some of the salad too.
Okay,
Have some of the things in the
Golden
blanket.
Corral.
A little Golden Corral, yeah. Have the mashed potatoes, and figure out what you like.
Yeah.
Maybe you thought the burger looked good, but it's not that great.
It's not that great.
It's too well done. Too dry.
Yeah.
But the pizza's pretty good, so I'm gonna stick to the pizza. Or I'm gonna stick to maybe the salads look kind of whack, but actually, you know what? It's not bad. So for me is one, be in community, find your tribe, and then also try things out. One, not just to make connections, but connections are important. But also figuring out what is it that you like, and what do you want to do in film. Because again, it is a competitive field. But for me, in film in 2026, everybody can eat.
I love that.
You know,
I love that.
yeah.
And lastly, like for some people that want to, put this knowledge like straight away, is there like any books or any type of like media or anything that you would recommend for people to watch to get sort of this kind of mindset?
Yeah, that's a good question. For me, when I was coming up, I was watching this YouTube channel called Film Courage.
Oh, yes, I know.
You know about that?
Yes.
Yeah. Because that introduced me to a lot of different ideas of not just production, but more of like the human aspect of being in production. Talking about burnout, talking about like taking breaks from film after for a while, building your tribe, your network. Another book. No, I'll just say that. Honestly, film school is another resource I go to as well.
So nice.
Yeah, but honestly, more importantly, just like going to events and talking to people and just working on sets. Honestly.
Yeah, be outside.
Be outside. Yeah.
That's great.
That it is for me. I say, working on sets and working on projects and making those connections.
Nice. Is there anything else that you would love to talk to the lovely people about?
Yeah, of course, absolutely. And since I'm here with Greenhouse. Greenhouse.org is our Instagram. Kouamy.com is our parent company, and we're gonna have more panels and more educational events about pitching, logistics, et cetera, more of the business side of film. So come check us out, and hopefully we'll see you at one of our panels.
I hope to pitch to you soon.
Yes, no, please do. We will love that. Yeah, we will love that.
Oh yeah. So is there anything else that you would love to shout out?
Yeah, man. I know you're talking about how filmmakers can get in from the ground floor. So I think another really good piece of advice is there's certain programs that allow filmmakers from the ground floor to kind of jump into the industry without any experience. So for example, I met Gotham through RealWorks and Media Makers. And their whole thing is basically they teach people that are from low-income communities and basically train them to work on films. So for example, at RealWorks, we had a costuming training, and they worked on the Gilded Age. So there's another one called GEI. It's called Group Effort Initiative that Ryan Reynolds started, and they're teaching people how to like be on set, do production, and also be in the office.
I know about them.
Yeah, so there's a bunch of those groups like that, and there's a bunch of organizations that are out there. So that's another great way I think to get into.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah,
that is amazing, and you heard it here first, folks.
That's right.